NATLAN, the best region of Genshin Impact today, but above all, the most anticipated banners of all Genshin Impact. Considering that they would soon gather very good characters like Nahida, Shenyun, Alekino, but also very expected and which has not been here for a long time like Shen, He or Rivalsly. Apart from the Zarkontes, very apart from a very rosy character of Shilonen. Of another character that everyone expects, Mavuika and rumored to come in 5-3, and the Primordial Dragon. One ex-Balank supposedly, Olorun, Captain, Sitlali, Chaska, and countless other NATLAN characters. More those we do not yet know from NATLAN himself, as has always happened in regions that arrive new characters that do not. Today, after all this, we're going to see the 5.1 banners that accompany Shilonen. That for many people will make him change his plans and throw for Kazuha, Milani, Raiden, or Kinnick. And that for now it starts strong, but not as strong as it looks like it will come in the future. So leave a good like, a good LT, subscribe, leave a good comment for the algorithm. Thank you for enjoying and watching the video and the channel. And let's go with the 5.1 banners. Well, this goes like this, and I'm going to tell you about the characters because I think you all know them. Because they're all reruns except Shilonen, but there are surprises and medium interesting weapons banners considering. The first half, in theory, is Shilonen and Kiori. Yes, friends, Rirun Kiori is a sub of PSG, or that does the same function as Albedo. A little worse, but has greater damage and roof climbing with a weapon and constellations, but really such a support with Chero should do all its work. And Shilonen is Jesus Christ. If they do not know it, if they do not change the kit, if they do not change what we know on the day of the beta, will be the best Geo character from far away, and the best character so far from NATLAN. And above all, to sum up, Shilonen is a character who does the same thing as Kazuha. But with the difference that A, instead of getting together, is the team's healer, B, as is Geo. It's going to generate crystallized, which is an extra defensive input, and C, it's going to outpace Kazuha C2 versus Shilonen C2. Now, if you want in this same video I make a little explanation for those who don't know how Shilonen is doing. Besides, he has some more advantage like construction and so on, but that's what we'll talk about later. And Kiori isn't worth it. The story is that Shilonen and Kiori's gun banner is a two-sword gun banner. To one hand, that Shilonen's gun is basically going to blow you the elemental damage of the entire team. Apart from giving much more defense to the character himself, but the passive of Shilonen's weapon is related to the points of O, Noctambulism, and the whole story with which Shilonen's weapon only serves Shilonen. And Kiori's gun is very good for Furina and other characters, so many people say, wow, I want a 5-star gun for my Furina. And what comes in the second half? Well, in the second half comes Nagida and Hu Tao. Rerun the Lettuce, rerun the Archon of Dendro, rerun the best current Dendro character of the whole game. Followed by Emily, and we have a very powerful C2 that enemies affected by a Dendro Electro reaction, see? Reduced its defense by 30%, and I speak of this constellation because Nagida is already C2 warriors, and many will have Nagida Chero, and that there are people who are raising that constellation. What is it? That NATLAN is the nation of Pyro, and is empowering and related with all Pyro reactions, including those of Dendro with Pyro. And of course Mualani and Kinnick start NATLAN explaining to us that we have to play Burns and Crackle. So, while Nagida is good for Mualani by the Master Bufo, and it won't be bad for Kinnick maybe, although Emily for Kinnick is infinitely better than Nagida. The reality is that Nagida serves as an elemental character of Endro, but Emily has much more potential and tour in NATLAN, for the synergy with the burn reactions for the future burn melt that will come. For fumes on Mualani burn, for general burns of Kinnick equipment or crackling, which there will be burns too, with which Emily will combine better. And this I speak of because Nagida is worse. No, Nagida is still the best character in the game, and to play Nagida both within these teams, even if its function is not so good despite the buff art, the mastery that will benefit the team. Like outside these teams, he's the best Dendro character, and Achero is an amazing applicator with a Master Bufo. The character an incredible field with the only one, but if they put you many waves of enemies, that you kill them and they come back more. that you eliminate them and others come out and so quickly, because Nagida has problems because to highlight. The enemies have to break the rotation and get out of the field, so Nagida, one of the priorities next to Silonen of this banner, and more for people who play new and arriving in NATLAN. And finally, Hu Tao. Hu Tao is a carry pyro, the favorite of many people in the community. Hu Tao has an amazing team you know today with Fiorina Yelan Xianyun, which is a very colorful and spectacular Hu Tao. Making two normals, a loaded downward jump with a combo of the most eye-catching in the whole game literally. And the only one who has Hu Tao as a hit or problem are the pyro carries. We are in the Pyro Nation, and despite being in it, the Nation of Pyro, we have no clue or news that any carry pyro will come out. Personal opinion will come out some carry pyro. In the Nation of Pyro and possibly superior to Hu Tao, just for something very simple, and is that Hu Tao. As I say, your only problem is that it's carry pyro, and besides it already has two characters that perform greater damage by rotation in it. Its optimal conditions at Hu Tao, which are gaming and Alachino. And this you already know for sure, many of you, and you will say good. I already knew you were going to say this, Phil. Then of course having Hu Tao as the third best pyro carry of the game at design level. People are very much in love in the community of Genshin. One of the largest communities within the characters of Genshin is the communities of Hu Tao. Bearing in mind that there are two carries above Hu Tao, and bearing in mind that possibly I didn't say anything. Hu Tao might be very good character, but today, if we talk about efficiency optimization, and not just taste, is somewhat displaced. Whoever likes Hu Tao, to take her to heaven, his pick you know it's Cone, and Homa, and different teams, and he'll have a new teams, with Shilon, Hu Tao, Fiorina, Yelan. Shilon leaving Shenlun a bit of a side, but with the difference that you won't. This combo of descendings and you will return to your roots of two normals, a load being much more necessary the Cone for Hu Tao. Then Hu Tao, interesting, but more interesting, the gun banner Nahida's weapon. Best in slot for Nahida and for Mastery Catalyst characters who mainly are Sakarosa and Lisa Triple Mastery. For Hyper Bloom, Nahida's gun is for Nahida, and we all know it. And Hu Tao's Homa again becomes a medium banner. Interesting because Nahida's gun is not the best in the world, and only Nahida is used, but everyone has Nahida, and the Homa is one of the best spears in the whole game. And they take advantage of it, almost all the characters, because it gives you life and attacks you in the proportion to your life that this is going to benefit all the characters in the game. So ladies and gentlemen, we have banner 5.1. We have a banner with a character who is Jesus Christ Shilon. I told you that in the end I was going to explain what I was doing. Basically low resistance is 15 seconds to two elements of the team without having to do a lot of weird things to say like a green shadow, but better because it is 15 seconds but 10. And because talent 10 is a 36% that basically low green shade. 40, with which 4% difference is not much. And NATLAN set remember that if you make a reaction with a particular element, with several elements in the case of Shilon, crystallized with the NATLAN set you will buff rate 40% 20 seconds the bonus. Elementary year of that particular reaction that you make of that element with which it gives you the same good as Kazuha but in. Time of 10 seconds good 8 specifically Kazuha. 20 seconds, that's why you talk so much about Shilon, and that's the best Geo of the cow. I play until I nerfing it, then my opinion to finish these Shilhanchero banners on all accounts will be must pull. If you don't change it later, Nahida, if you don't have it Shero. Think about it then, Kiori. I don't recommend it at all for nothing. Nothing at all, and I say it several times so that you understand it. I do not recommend it as a character that some directly say. Well, if you like it with Kiori specifically, I recommend not to throw. In fact, today the second best in slot is the first best in slot from Navia because it's good but Phil but playing Navia Kiori and Fiorina Bennett. No Shilon will be better companion. From Navia that what is Kiori despite not having a damage out of the field as sub DPS, so Kiori, I do not recommend it. Not at all, and Hu Tao is very circumstantial. Hu Tao is very fun. Very strong in my free-to-play. I will take her to heaven, and I thought, take out the Homa, but seeing the scene I no longer believe that Homa will come out in the free-to-play by Desires, and by the Archonte and by Shilonen. And after Constellations, the Cone of Hu Tao is very interesting. The C2 of Nahida is very powerful, of the strongest of the game. Shilon's C2 is also very powerful because I analyzed it in the Shilon kit that is around here, the video, to see if you want more details of Shilon so that this video is not just talking about this amazing new character, and these are the 5.1 banners subject to change. Maybe that something is modified because it is said out there that perhaps I would return to Ryothesley soon. Or I'd go back to Shenge soon, and maybe Kiori, who has little expectation of sale, will replace it with a Ryothesley or a Shenge. We'll know. And we'll see, and little more take care of yourself very good. Let a nice TBN like you, subscribe, a comment for algorithm. Thanks, help a lot, you are amazing, and we are coming very far, and now, As I said, take care, very good day.